Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about how to PvP in Good Game Empire, more specifically attacking. So in order to make a strong attack, you basically need three things. First of all, you need a decent PvP commander. These are obviously not the same as commanders that you should use against NPC targets like nomad targets. You need to make PvP specific ones. Um, but of course, I've already talked about that in a previous video, so I won't go into detail about making the basics of a commander, but I will show you how to get um, a strong commander due to boosters and stuff. To make a commander that looks something like this, but I'll go over that later in the video. First of all, I'd like to talk about tooling your attacks. This is basically the second thing that is important in an attack. So first thing is commander, second thing is tools, and the last thing would be troops. What kind of troops, how strong the troops are, and where to get them. So now let's start with tools. If you don't tool your attack properly, you won't be able to break through all three sides of the attack, of the defenses, and your attack won't do amazingly well in the courtyard. So in order to do that, we basically have two basic presets. Let's start with the wall mode preset. It looks like this. The first thing that you will notice is that basically every single preset is with ranged units. This is because ranged units are just way better in an attack, and you can reduce the defensive ranged soldiers to 0% strength. But you can't do that with melee units. And since melee units are weak against ranged targets, you should use ranged attackers. That is the reason why. The wall mode wave will be used in most of your waves, and its purpose is to be effective against defensive setup with a lot of melee soldiers on the wall, like this setup. The best attack tool formation against this particular setup would be this wave. It would be the most effective. But if you were to fill every single wave like this, then that would not work. Why not? Well, because the defender can change its setup. And in this case, if I were to fill all of these attacks like this, then I would have no shields at all anywhere. So the defender wouldn't put mostly melee troops on the wall. He would just put all ranged units on the wall, which are strong against my ranged units, and since they're not decreased to 0% with shields, they will be very effective. So that is why we have to include some of these waves. This is called a shield wave. Many players make the mistake of not putting enough shields, but this is the most important thing about the shield wall. You have to put at least 34 or 35 shields, and to be safe, put like 36 or 37 shields, but definitely no less than 34 shields. The purpose of this wave is to prevent the attacker from defending with ranged soldiers, or at least not a lot of them. These waves will often not be very effective if the defender knows what it's doing. He will just put a lot of ranged soldiers on the wall, and the melee soldiers will get buffed by line bombs and the mode bonus, and they will crush this wave. But you need one or two of these waves in your deck to prevent them from putting a lot of ranged on the wall. The defender can increase its ranged defensive strength up to about 540% at the maximum, so that is why you need this many shields. A mistake I see players make quite often is that their preset will look something like this, and that they will fill every single wave like this, but this doesn't work either, because the defender will notice that. He will see like 250 shields on each flank, and a bunch of wall tools and no mode tools at all. Well, that means that he just needs to put all melee soldiers on the wall, and he will just completely crush your attack. because his melee soldiers will have like a 500% bonus, which is quite strong. About 500 for each unit. It's pretty strong. So that's why you need to prevent that from happening by increasing the number of shields. So this is what it should look like this. Okay, next up, how many shield waves should you use? This depends on how many waves you have. If you have 4 waves or 5 waves in your attack, you should put only one shield or wall wave. So your attack would look something like this in a 5-wave attack. First wall mode wave, a shield wave, wall mode, wall mode, wall mode. You can put the shield wave really anywhere you want. It's up to your personal preference. I wouldn't recommend putting it in the last wave. Just have it like in the second wave or the first one or the third one at the very last. So in a 4 to 5 wave attack, have one shield wave. If you get to 6 wave attack, then you could include 2 shield walls. You could have two shield waves. This is okay, 2 shield waves and 4 wall mode waves. But I would personally still recommend just having one single shield wave in a 6 wave attack. And as soon as you get to a 7 wave attack, you should put 2 shield waves in your attack. So then your attack would look something like this. Shield. So let me start over from the beginning. Wall mode, shield, wall mode, wall mode, wall mode, wall mode, shield, wall mode, and so on. Same for the 8 or 9 waves attacks, 10 waves attack, and 11 wave attack. If your attack is like 10 waves or 11 waves, you could put 3 shield walls, shield wall waves, 3 of them. But 2 will be fine as well, to be honest, because 1 wave could just completely decimate the entire defenses. But basically what I mean is 4 to 5 waves, 1 shield wave, 6 to 9 waves, about 2 shield waves, and 10 to 11 waves, 2 or 3 shield waves. On to the next subject. When you have these shield waves, it could be better to use mode tools if you have a higher tool limit. Let me show you how to get a higher tool limit. This will be in your Hall of Legends. Let me just steal that real quick. Yes, right here. Credits to Juliano for this. I stole this from his PvP guide. So you'll find this right here. Here you can increase your tool limit. You don't really need all 5 levels here. You can just put 3 levels in here, and put them in here instead for some extra courtyard. This brings me basically to the next point of our guide, and that is the Hall of Legends. These are the last levels. I'll show the earlier levels later on. The most important things here to make sure that you have is this one here. You need about 3 levels in here. This is good. This is important as well. This is strong. This is important, and this is important. Your front unit limit, your flank unit limit, mode decreasing, extra wave, extra range strength, and do not forget the increased travel speed towards your target. This will decrease the attack horn the defender gets and will make sure that he receives less support. So basically those are the things you need to focus on your Hall of Legends. This is completely optional. You don't need to have this. You could put points in another place instead if possible. In the earlier stages would look something like this. Nothing's really too important here. You can fiddle around with these. Just know that in the first Um, Level here, this one and this one are the best. In the second level, this one and these three will basically be useful, but never spend anything here, never spend anything here. This is quite useless as well, honestly, for most players. Um, so stay away from these here and just, yeah, basically that's it. Also, should you go on a defensive Hall of Legends or an offensive one, I recommend staying on the attack Hall of Legends. You will need it during the Bloodcrow invasion and the Foreign Lords invasion. The extra waves are just too powerful. The only place I can really think of when you need a defensive Hall of Legends is when you're just not doing any attacking. You know you're not going to be attacking much in the next 2 weeks, and you're getting attacked quite a lot in a war, for example. Then I guess you could switch to a defensive Hall of Legends. But preferably you should be investing all of your points in here. Okay, that brings me to the next point, your commander. Now, how do you boost him all the way up to a strong level like this one, for example? As you can see, these values are rather high. Now, how do you do that? Well, the first thing you need to do is buy appearance items. This is the first step. Um, if you're not going to boost your items, then I recommend buying the green ones here. They're a little stronger, a little bit more expensive because gold is more valuable. But you should buy these ones right here and equip them on your buildings. But if you want to go a little bit further and get a bigger bonus than this one, for instance, if you want 45% extra strength or 60% extra strength, I recommend buying them with silver pieces, since these are cheaper and will end up using the same amount of boosters, the same kind of boosters, and have the same result. So buy the cheaper ones if you plan on boosting them. Um, I'll buy this one here to show you an example. So I bought this one. Now I bought an item for the stonemason. So I'll go to my stonemason. The only reason I have this building in my castle is so I can equip this item. You put it in here, and now you have an extra 10% ranged unit strength. You can do this with a lot of items, and you'll get about a 10% to 15% boost on a lot of things like front unit limit and flank unit limit. Or if you bought the green ones, double that. But basically what you have now, if you bought the silver coins one, is the gray version, the ordinary version. Now if you want to upgrade that to the rare version or the purple version or the orange version, you need to click on it, then click on this button here, and here you can apply boosters. Now these boosters will basically level up the quality of the item to the next level. If I were to use a booster like this, it would basically bring it up to the level of a green item, which is the same as buying one with gold in the Master's Blacksmith. You could also apply a purple booster or a legendary orange booster for more effects. It will also take a little longer to wear out. It will take about 5 or 6 days before it expires, and also the strength increases by quite a lot. So this is how you boost items. I recommend boosting your courtyard strength first, then your flank unit limit. After that, the next priority is the front unit limit. After that, your ranged unit strength when attacking. And lastly, your melee unit strength when attacking. This is kind of the order you want to prioritize your boosts in. I recommend only using your orange booster when you are going to be doing a lot of PvP. So that would be in a war against another alliance. And using the purple ones, boosting the silver coin items here with purple ones when doing the foreign lords or something. in the new event. Uh, that's basically how you use it, but it's up to you. Now I'll show you how to get these items. Um, you can get these two items in the same exact way, but the orange one is a little different. I'll show you later on here. So in a Master's Blacksmith, if you want to get boosters, you have to buy them with gold. If you want a purple booster, you have to buy either one of these. I'll just buy this one here to demonstrate. I won't buy a green one because I don't really want green boosters. But if you wanted to do that, just buy this item here, for example, buy it, and then do the same exact thing as I'm going to be showing you with the purple one. So for this, you go to your build items, deselect this because you will only now see the items that can fit on the stonemason. So cross on that. Now you will see all of your items. So this is the item I just bought, a purple one. You just click on it, you drag it over here, and you sell it. Then you get this screen. This means that if I were to click this check mark, I'll get a 75% of getting a purple booster, which is what I want, and a 25% chance of getting a green one. So yeah, let's pray, I guess. I got a purple one, yay. Okay, so if I were to go to my stonemason now, I could boost it up with a purple one here to 30%. So as a free-to-play, these are basically going to be your limits when attacking. If you're a whale, I'll show you later on, you can do some extra increases here in your bestseller shop menu. But first of all, I'd like to show you one more thing, how to get the orange boosters. These can be acquired in the events. They used to be here, but I would sell this one for a booster. I would just use this one instead. But, here, for example, here, if you were to get this item, you will be, if you reach the top 300 here, you can get this item. If you were to sell this item, you would get an orange booster, most likely. Same for this item and this item. Now it's up to you if you just use the item or sell it. It's your own choice. But it basically means that they are much more rare than the purple ones and the green ones, which you can just buy. Same here, this one can be sold for an orange booster. Now if you are a big whale and you have a lot of rubies and you spend money on the game, then these two shops here are an option for you. They often have a different timer here. And they basically sell the same things. I mean, not the exact same items, but the same kind of items. They're all appearance items. Like this one, for example, gives you extra ranged unit strength for attacking. Here's one for the siege workshop that gives extra flank unit limit. As you can see, they're quite expensive, and you can choose the strong one, a bit less, a bit weaker, and the weakest item of it. As you can see, there's quite a difference in between them. Every single building in your castle can hold an appearance item, one of these. So this is basically how you can increase your commander strength even more. You can equip items on your keep, your barracks, your encampment, your military hospital, your estate, your siege workshop, your defensive workshop, your stonemason, your Hall of Legends, your storehouse, your marketplace, I believe, as well, and maybe a few other buildings that I haven't mentioned just yet. But that's basically the point on how to get a very, very strong commander like this one, with some pretty devastating stats over here. So that is it for the commander. The last thing that I want to be showing you is troops. Now, with what troops should you use when attacking? Well, preferably you should use the strongest troops that you have. The strongest troops that you can have in the game are meat units. Now, um, if you have unlocked these brewery options here with kits and research and stuff, and you've researched these, then you can just recruit them in your level 14 barracks. But if you haven't unlocked all of that yet, then you'll have to spin them here in the wheel, and there's about a 1 in 3 chance to get meat units, and half of the time those will be attackers, half of the time those will be defenders, and half of the time it will be ranged units, and half of the time it will be melee units. You get about 1,000 each time you spin and get meat units. Um, so that's one way to get meat. Another way is if you are above level 650 legendary here, there will be an offer somewhere here for level 10 meat, at least there used to be. But I can't show you that because I'm not at that level just yet. If you don't have meat or you don't want to spend that much to get attack with meat units, then you have to. The next best thing would be horrors, veteran horrors. You can buy these in the bestseller shop at a 70%, 75% discount. This is the best value you're gonna get. You can buy a bunch of those here. Same thing for defense, but this is an attacking guide. So this is where you can buy these. And let me just turn this off real quick. Where was I? Oh yes, the veteran horse. You can also buy them with silver here. They're pretty cheap, to be honest, over here. But there's quite a limited amount you can buy with them. A few other options are, of course, the weaker version, the deathly horrors, or even weaker, the coin version. Right here. And you'll mostly be attacking with ranged units. They are often better in an attack because they are used to break to the wall. Melee troops only get their use in the courtyard. But you only really get in the courtyard if you get past the wall. And if you attack with all melee soldiers, then you'll end up getting crushed at the wall. But I'll go into detail a bit later about that. First I'll show you the kind of troops. The next thing is if the Nomad invasion is running, it's just ended, so I can't buy troops anymore, but there should be an offer around here that offers Nomad troops. You can buy them with con tablets, and you should buy them in small bunches so you get the maximum value out of them. Like for example here, you would need to buy 8 at a time to get the maximum value in this event. But it's disappeared now, so I can't show you. But have a look here, you'll find a quest here that says spend 760 con tablets and you'll get 3 points for that. It used to be 950 tablets, but they changed it recently. But enough about that. If you want to recruit your troops, so you want to attack with coin troops, your attacks will be a bit weaker. But that is fine. The cheapest version of the cheapest for the quality that you're getting, the best unit is the Imperial Bowman here. It's pretty cheap here, and it has 124 attack power compared to its upgrade here, which is about double the price exactly. You only get a few more stats here, but nothing too special. So I wouldn't use these when attacking because they're just double as expensive and only slightly better. Same for the melee units. If you want a cheap attack, use these units. And if you want a strong attack, you should use these units here. They have a much higher stat than the previous ones. Also they plunder more, but they use more food. They're literally stronger and faster than the units over here, and are cheaper. These are cheaper. So basically the choice is when you're recruiting, you want a strong attack, but you don't care about how much coins they cost because you have a lot of them, use these units. And if you're on a budget, you don't have a lot of coins, use these troops. Um, Now on to this right here. Um, what troops should you use? Well, we talked about the presets here. You shouldn't attack with all ranged troops. You should mix in some melee in there, because otherwise your attack won't do that good in the courtyard. You want some melee troops in there as well. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you only put ranged soldiers on the flanks on all waves up until wave 9 or 10 or 11. Fill all of your flanks with ranged troops. It's only when you have a bigger attack that you can start to put melee troops only in the middle, but not in the first waves, of course. Um, so let me start from the beginning here. If you have 1 to 5 waves in your attack, then you should attack with all ranged soldiers and on all flanks on all 5 waves. If you get a 6th wave, then you should still put ranged on the flanks here, but on your 6th wave you can put melee troops in the middle. Careful, the 5th wave should still be ranged troops, but your 6th wave could be melee in the middle if you like. And if your attack gets bigger, you can fill up more ranged melee troops here in the middle, but remember to keep the flanks ranged, because the troop limit is way lower over here, and you need about 3 waves to get the same amount of troops as you get in 1 wave in the middle. So all ranged on the flanks, and only start putting melee if you have a lot of waves in the middle. And it's definitely not wrong to tool them as well. You can put tools on them as well. That makes them useful too, I guess. But never send melee troops with shield walls. This is completely useless. I don't want to see anyone sending melee troops together with shield walls. The only really viable way of sending melee tools is like this, with mode tools, gate tools, and wall tools. So I guess that is explained as well. Next up, I'll be showing you basically the last thing that I want to show you, and that is where to buy wave items and how to find them. Well, if you're doing PvP, you should have a wave item. What do I mean by that? An item that looks something like this. You'll find them here in your look items. The first place and the easiest place to get them is at the equipment trader. This shop will never go away, and you can always find your goodies here. If you're going to be doing quite a lot of PvP for a long time, you should buy this one. It gives 5 additional waves, which is the best item you can just buy with rupees, and it lasts for 3 days. But if you're only going to be doing some PvP or Foreign Lords in a short amount of time, then you should scroll down a little more up until here, where you can find for just 7,007 and basically 800 rubies the same exact item, but it only lasts for 12 hours. So if you're only going to be doing some PvP for a short amount of time, this is the best item, and I usually buy one of these items. When doing the Foreign Lord event, the blue item is the best because it has more waves than the other kinds of look items, so you will be able to fit more glory flags on them. The advantage of, like, for example, the green one here is that it provides extra flank and front unit limit, which makes it easier to break through the wall with less tools. But the best item overall that sends the stronger attacks is the +5 additional waves item. Now, as of recently, this isn't entirely true anymore, because you can win items that are stronger now. For example, this item here is stronger, and there are even stronger ones out there. I can show you this because my legendary level is high enough to get to see these strong rewards. But basically, what it means is that there are even stronger items that can be won in events. For now, if I remember correctly, these strong items, yes, these strong items are only available in the glory events as top prizes usually for the victor of the individual score of each league. Um, and in the Alliance League, every single Alliance member would get one of these. Um, Now, in the higher leagues, there are 6 wave items and 7 wave items that are even better than what we've seen so far in the game. Um, so have a look out for those. But you have to do quite a lot of effort to get those. But that is one place you could get them. The last place you could get them is in the Wheel of Unimaginable Affluence. With affluence tickets, you can sometimes win look items. Of course, if you have a higher level here, if you spun a lot of tickets already, then you can win stronger items here, like this one, or a look item for your Castan, but this is only useful for defense, so that's not for this video. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you all for listening. I hope some of you learned something new. Peace out.